Using technology in the elementary classroom can be a great way to engage students and enhance their learning experiences. However, it's important to use it responsibly and effectively. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you some do's and don'ts that you should consider when incorporating technology in your elementary classroom. Stay tuned. What's kicking, educational rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of Teaching Made Easy. I'm Farah, the Center Fairy, your ultimate source into the wonderful world of simple classroom systems that actually work so that you can finally get back to what you love, teaching. If this is your first time joining me here on the channel, be sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and click that bell so that you get notified when I go live or upload a new video here on the channel. I'm a technology-loving teacher. In fact, I worked very hard in my classrooms throughout my career to provide technology for my own students, even when there was very little available in our entire school. I wrote a grant for an iPad lab in my first grade classroom, and for many years leading up to getting that lab, I would ask parents, friends, and family for old phones and tablets so that I could repurpose them in my classroom to have as close to a one-on-one experience as possible. But one thing I was adamant about was not just using technology to replace pencil and paper activities. In other words, we didn't just use technology to do the same activities that we were already doing using pencil and paper and just change to doing them on a device. If you're wanting to incorporate technology into your classroom, I have a few do's and don'ts that are going to help you when implementing it effectively. First up, the do's. Do use technology as a supplement to traditional teaching methods, not as a replacement. While technology can be a useful tool, it should not be the primary mode of instruction. It's important to balance the use of technology with hands-on, interactive activities and traditional teaching methods. I think 2020 and part of 2021 proved that to us. Do use technology to enhance student learning and engagement. Technology can be a great way to help students visualize concepts, collaborate with their peers, and access a wealth of information. For example, you can use educational websites and apps to help students practice math skills, create presentations about a topic they're learning about, or conduct research for a project. Do set clear guidelines and expectations for the use of technology in your classroom. Make sure students understand how to use the technology safely and responsibly. This includes respecting others' privacy and not sharing their personal information online. Now, the last do is educate yourself on the best practices for using technology in the classroom. There are many resources available for teachers looking to incorporate technology into their lessons. Take the time to learn about different tools and how to use them effectively. Now for the don'ts. Don't use technology as a distraction or a way to avoid interacting with your students. While technology can be a useful tool, it should not be used as a way to disengage from your students. Make sure that you are still actively participating in their learning and giving them the attention that they need. Don't use technology as a way to babysit your students. It's important to remember that technology is a tool, not a substitute for good teaching. Don't rely on technology to keep your students occupied while you do other things. Don't neglect to teach your students about digital citizenship. It's very important to teach your students how to behave responsibly online and how to protect their personal information. Make sure they understand the importance of not sharing their personal information, such as their name, age, or address with strangers online. Now, don't ignore the potential risks of using technology. While technology can be a great resource, it's important to be aware of the potential risks, such as cyberbullying and exposure to inappropriate content. Make sure you have appropriate safeguards in place to protect your students while they're using technology in your classroom. Some of my favorite ways to use technology is for projects and ways to extend learning. I loved having my students use the technology in our classroom to show their learning by recording themselves explaining their work as they completed it. Or I loved having them record themselves while they were reading, and then I could use that in portfolios and to guide instruction when I was in small groups working on those reading skills. Another way that I loved using technology was to help with planning and prepping activities in my classroom. We used math and literacy centers daily in my classroom, from kindergarten to 5th grade. But let's face it, sometimes life happens and you don't have time to print, laminate, cut, and prep center activities. Our math and literacy centers for grades K through 5 come with 3 digital versions that can be assigned to your students without all the prep. They're made for Seesaw, Google Slides, and Boom Cards, so you are guaranteed to find a platform that your students are going to love. It's the same great hands-on activities that you've come to love and enjoy, just in a digital format, to help save you time when planning and prepping for centers and your small group instruction. And the best part is, students love them. You can check them out by clicking the link in the description and heading over to our shop. Now, using technology in the elementary classroom can be a great way to enhance student learning and engagement. However, it is important to remember to use it responsibly and effectively. By following some of these do's and don'ts that I've shared, you can ensure that you are using technology in a way that benefits your students and helps them succeed. Now, if you're looking for more tips, strategies, and simple systems to take back into your classroom to make your teacher life a little bit easier, check out the other videos on your screen. Thanks for watching, and keep being an educational rock star.